Summer is here and parents are beginning to take their kids to the water to cool off and have some fun. But the water, of course, can be pretty dangerous, especially for young children. Brittany Craig joins us now in the studio, and Brittany, families really need to be careful when they're heading to not just the pool, but also the lake, the beach, any water that they get near.
Exactly, Meredith. And Safe Kids says drownings are actually the leading cause of injury-related deaths in children between 1 and 4 years old. And it's not just in the deep water you have to worry about. Young kids can drown in less than 2 inches of water, which is just about as deep as the water I'm holding in my hand now. So obviously, it does not take much at all. And because of that, kiddie pools can be dangerous, as well as bathtubs, buckets, or even large containers. Like I said, anything that can hold just 2 inches of water. So you have to make sure you always empty any of these items after using them, and make sure you store them upside down so they can't collect any water and out of children's reach. Officials at MCG say supervision is the single most important safety measure. And by a supervisor, they mean an adult who can swim and rescue someone if they need it. And another important key safety factor is making sure the kids wear a life vest. And make sure that life vest is the right size for your child as well. They're based on the kid's weight, so be sure to check the weight on the label. And also, they should not fit loosely. They should fit rather snug. And it should always be worn as instructed with all the straps belted. Now, also note there are several types of life jackets, depending on if you're in a pool or in open water or what have you. And inflatable water wings, toys, rafts, anything like that, they should never be used in place of life jackets. Now, Meredith, there are actually some pools in our area that make kids wear life vests to swim in the pools just for safety measures. The Aiken YMCA has a swim test for kids who want to swim without their parents. And depending on that test, kids are put into 3 different categories. So the categories are: they need to wear a life vest, if they can swim with a guardian, but they don't have to wear a life vest to make sure someone's kind of watching them, or if they're able to swim alone without a guardian, without a life vest, they're pretty much good. And for the downtown Augusta YMCA, their pool only goes up to 4 feet, but obviously, like we said, 2 inches of water, you can drown it. So 4 feet is still pretty dangerous. So all kids are required to wear life vests unless their parents or they can prove that they can't swim without it.
I think it's important to also go through the same test, parents, that the Y puts kids through. I remember the beginning of the summer, I stood there as my daughter jumped in the pool, and I wanted to see what she would do, and she was fine. She picked up where she did from last year. But I remember being younger and my mother making my sister, brother, and I jump in the pool to prove to her that we could swim. And I remember she had to jump in after one of us a time or two. And that's when we were really good, really experienced swimmers. But when you're young, you can lose it if you haven't been swimming for about a year.
That actually happened to my cousin. We took swimming lessons together our whole lives, but then one day she jumped in the deep end and she just forgot how to swim. Her mom had to jump in to save her. When you're younger like that, it's still good to test your kids out just in case.
Yeah, because you don't know what they've retained throughout the year, especially when they're kindergarten, pre-K, that age.
Exactly.
Some good advice. Thanks for that, Brittany.